Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke star as Amanda and Clay Sanford, a couple who decide to leave New York City for the weekend with their kids, Rose, played by Farrah McKenzie, and Archie, played by Charlie Evans, to have an impromptu vacation on Long Island. With the exception of poor cell service and a surprise on the beach, the vacation is going nicely until one night, G.H. Scott, played by Mahershala Ali, the owner of the house they've rented, and his daughter Ruth, played by Myha'la, ask if they can stay the night, stating that there's been a blackout in the city. Reluctantly, the Sanford family lets them in, and together, their families come to realize the blackout might be a greater threat than they originally thought. Esmail makes Leave the World Behind feel like an end-of-the-world drama on a small scale, without ever negating the stakes of this scenario. The majority of Leave the World Behind takes place within the confines of Scott's rental house, but Esmail always makes us keenly aware of the dangers going on throughout the world. You get glimpses of the dangers on a staticky television, brief excursions outside the home hint at the confusion going on in the world, and the unusual way the animals nearby the house act show that something very odd is occurring. The Sanford and Scott families are attempting to piece together what is happening, and Esmail does an excellent job of putting us in their shoes as we also try to gather what we can from the world presented to us. Because of the insular nature of this story, Leave the World Behind relies on the performances within this home. Esmail's script never gives us unnecessary details about these characters. We wouldn't glean from the day-to-day interactions of this family, and any information feels naturally communicated. For example, we don't learn what G.H. Scott does until it's integral to the story at hand. While this can lead to these characters sometimes feeling one note, this still doesn't stop the performances from bringing a richness to the situation. Roberts is quite fun playing against type. She's cautious, but understandably so given the circumstances. Hawke embraces a sort of cool dad and college professor aesthetic that goes well with him, while Myha'la is great at cutting through the bullshit of the tension between these two families. But it's Ali who is fascinating here, and as an outsider made to feel uncomfortable in his own house. Scott has to handle each moment with great care and consideration. He knows the way things must look from the eyes of the Sanford family, and he attempts to seem as unthreatening and forgiving as he can be, all while holding the weight of knowing more about what is going on than he originally lets on. Ali is always great at being the most interesting character in the room in any room he's in. And that's absolutely the case in Leave the World Behind. While these characters might seem a bit straightforward, it's how these people interact that makes Leave the World Behind work so well. From the moment Amanda meets G.H., she's uncertain about trusting him, but as the film goes on, we see how this changes and reverts. Leave the World Behind's most captivating scenes follow Amanda and G.H. as they attempt to know each other better, leading to an intense story from G.H., which is then followed by a lovely moment of respite where the two dance to Next Too Close. Esmail is always cognizant of how these characters would act in this new world, whether it's desperate for answers and help or longing for some sense of normalcy and fun while all hell breaks loose. All of this precariousness is explained through Esmail's camera, which is full of awkward, disconcerting angles, often flipping the world on its head and heightening the terror. Esmail used similar tactics in Mr. Robot, and they're equally effective here. He often attempts to give us scenes of action, and while these mostly work well, it's the camera work and solid adaptation of Alam's novel that makes the moments at home, where discussions and theories fly, just as exciting as the brief, thrilling scenes in the outside world. Esmail mostly keeps the truth of what is happening a mystery, and in some ways, he also leaves it up to the audience what the larger point of Leave the World Behind is. At first, it seems, as we see the conflict between Amanda not wanting to let the Scott family in, that this will be an exploration of race, but this is mostly brushed off by the end of the first act. Leave the World Behind is a smart, compelling take on the end of the world, and proves Esmail is a writer-director who deserves larger-scale projects like this after his television successes. Maybe no one today is better at showing the world destroying itself quite like Sam Esmail. Is Leave the World Behind a story about environmental dangers, a political statement on the divide our country has taken, or simply an example of how easy it would be to throw the world into chaos? Or more likely, all of the above. Esmail never gives the answers simply, which makes the deeper conversations about this film even more stimulating. Thanks for watching. Support Instant by clicking subscribe, like this video, and leave your opinion in the comments section. Bye.